They say some towns hide secrets that never die. And in the forgotten village of Black Hollow, deep in the heart of the old country, locals still whisper about a chilling legend: the last visitor. He was a stranger who arrived on a foggy night, cloaked in darkness, and left behind a legacy of fear and blood that lingers to this day. The year was 1887. A brutal winter had locked the village in its icy grip. It was then that he arrived, a man dressed in a long black coat that seemed to swallow the light. His voice was a soft whisper, his skin unnervingly pale, and his eyes were like burning coals, holding a depth that unsettled anyone who met his gaze. He rented a small, isolated cabin at the edge of the woods, a place where the trees stood like skeletal sentinels. Villagers noted he was a man of peculiar habits. He was never seen during the day. His cabin remained shuttered and silent under the winter sun. But as dusk bled into night, he would emerge. People would catch glimpses of his tall, lean figure walking the empty, snow-dusted streets, always silent, always watching. A sense of unease began to creep through Black Hollow, as thick and suffocating as the nightly fog. The first signs of trouble were subtle, yet deeply disturbing. Villagers started finding their livestock dead in the fields, not mauled, not torn apart, but simply drained. The animals were found lying peacefully, as if they had just laid down to sleep, but their bodies were cold and empty, drained of every last drop of blood. Fear began to murmur through the taverns and homes. Then the horror struck closer. One frosty morning, a farmer's daughter, known for her rosy cheeks and lively spirit, was found in her bed. She was pale, cold, and utterly lifeless. The town doctor was baffled. There were no wounds, no signs of a struggle, except for 2 small, almost imperceptible puncture marks on her neck. Panic erupted. It swept through Black Hollow like a plague. Doors that were once left open were now bolted and barred. Crude wooden crosses, blessed by the village priest, were hung on every window frame. Garlic wreaths appeared on doorways, a desperate grasp at old folklore. But the visitors' unseen terror was relentless. Every few nights, a new victim was discovered. Always pale, always cold, always with those same 2 telltale marks. And always, the stranger was nowhere to be seen during the ensuing chaos, only to reappear after sunset, a silent specter against the snow. One evening, consumed by a mixture of terror and rage, a group of the village's bravest men decided they had to act. Armed with pitchforks and torches, they followed the stranger's footprints from his cabin into the deep woods. The trail led them to the old cemetery, a place most villagers avoided even in broad daylight. There, among the tilting ancient headstones, they saw him. He was standing over a freshly dug grave, a large bundle wrapped in cloth in his arms. As they closed in, one of the men shouted, challenging the dark figure. The stranger turned slowly. He didn't speak. Instead, a low, guttural hiss escaped his lips, a sound that was not human, and his eyes. They ignited, glowing with a malevolent crimson light in the darkness. The men, their courage shattered, turned and fled, screaming for their lives. The next morning, a posse returned to the stranger's cabin, ready for a final confrontation. But it was empty. The door swung open on a creaking hinge, revealing a cold, deserted room. The only thing out of the ordinary was a large, coffin-shaped hole dug into the earthen floor. The stranger was gone. Over the following years, the lifeblood of Black Hollow drained away, just like his victims. Families left one by one, abandoning their homes to the encroaching forest, until the village became a ghost town, a collection of rotting timber and fading memories. But the story doesn't end there. Even now, travelers who dare to pass near the ruins of Black Hollow report strange sightings. They speak of a tall man in a long black coat, standing motionless at the edge of the trees, his form barely visible through the mist. His eyes, they say, still shine through the fog with that same hellish red light. Some believe he is a guardian of the dead town, while others whisper that he simply waits for new visitors, for new blood. They say that on cold, quiet nights, when the wind howls through the skeletal trees, you can almost hear a voice carried on the air, a soft, inviting whisper that promises eternal night. Come in, I'm still thirsty. Because not all legends fade with time. Some are just waiting for their next victim. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the darkness. If you enjoy tales of forgotten folklore and things that go bump in the night, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more chilling stories. Stay safe out there.